Hey everybody, welcome into the Huddle. I'm John Pynakker with the Mojave Valley Daily News. We have a different Matt for you this week. This is Matt Hanrahan. How you doing, Matt?
Good, John. How are you? Thanks
Good.
for having me.
So Matt is going to every other week. We're going to take turns. We have Matt Curtis from Anderson. Now we have Matt Hanrahan from Barron. Matt and I have done a football show before, and I lobbied hard to not get Matt.
You lost that.
He beats me up pretty well on these things, but no, I'm very excited to have you in here, so I appreciate you cutting out some time.
I appreciate the invitation. I'm looking forward to it.
He's got like 19 businesses he has to run, so cutting out a couple minutes for us. All right, some housekeeping things. Every week we have the Huddle. Oh, that's not going to show up very well, is it, Jeff?
It's green.
Because of the green. All right, well, on Sundays we have the Huddle, Pro Pick of the Week. We have 2 games in there for you to pick. Every week there'll be a winner, random drawn winner, and we'll compile your results for the whole year, and the person with the best record gets the first grand prize, second, and third. So look for it in Sunday's paper. You fill it out. This week we have the Saints at the Panthers and the Chiefs at the Ravens. You're picking it straight up, not against the spread or anything. This week we have a winner for our this week it's a $25 CoView gift certificate, and it is Gail Stones. So, Gail, congratulations. Carrie, I think, will be getting a hold of you to get you your prize.
That's awesome. It's kind of neat.
Next week, a free pool.
Oh, excellent. That'll be interesting. The blow-up ones, right? It's going down to Walmart.
I don't know. I just know that Barron was donating pools, so I'm not sure
what. I think they have one down at Walmart I can pick up. It'll work just fine. Yeah, most definitely.
All right, so we're going to get through these games real quick. We're not really going to touch too much on last week's game, especially the Packers game. We're going to kind of touch on some of the other stuff if we get there, but we are going to I'm going to lob them at you, and let's see what you got.
Let's go. I'm ready.
All right, so we're taping this on Wednesday. We're going to start going live next week. Apparently it's Matt's anniversary, and he doesn't want to be in here doing a live video on Thursday.
That's exactly correct. I'm going to go with that excuse. Yes. I like my marriage.
I'd like to keep it going.
That's right.
I get that. All right, so Thursday night, the game is the Giants at Washington. I don't know that it's a game we would normally pick to cover here,
right,
but it is Thursday night game. So this game kind of changed a little bit with Ryan Fitzpatrick going down, and now they have the great Taylor Heineke.
I know.
Will be taking his spot.
Should do really well. People will be super excited about that and confident about Washington this weekend.
Yes, go get your Taylor Heineke jersey.
Yeah, that's right. You never know.
So what do you think?
Yeah, so I guess even today it came out that Barkley might not play as well. They're not sure yet. Obviously, Evan Ingram's out again, which is hit or miss. But, I mean, Washington's defense is solid. It has been solid last week for the most part, ups and downs. Giants' offensive line is struggling, and that's always tough for them. Even with Heineke, I just think that defense is too much for the Giants. I think that's it's a home game for Washington. It's backup quarterback's got a week to prepare. It's a Washington win for me. Yeah,
if you were going to Washington against Seattle or the Rams or somebody, then you could go, all right, well, it's going to be a rough day for Heineke. But the Giants have not shown anything for a couple of years now.
No.
And if Saquon is out, then it's really going to be
and then it's all on Jones' shoulders, and things happen, and they've got a good rush defense, and that's great and all, but it's just not enough. I don't think it's enough. So.
And Chase Young is a beast.
That defense in general is a beast. There's just studs all over the line, all over the defensive backfield. I think that carries them through for sure.
Did you sit down and look at any of these before the season started and say this is the team that's going to win that NFC East?
I don't think you could sit down and say this is the team that's going to win the NFC East this year. If you sat down and said that it's Washington, it's literally, I know it sounds like numbers, but it's a 1 in 4 chance. Literally, any of them could do it. But as far as the Giants, if you're going to rate those 4, they're bottom of the barrel for sure, if you ask me. So it's a no-brainer that this one.
I agree. All right. Early games on Sunday. This one I think is going to be a fun one to watch. I don't know if they were really who they were in the first game or not, but the Niners at the Eagles. The Niners certainly looked good. The Eagles looked good enough. Mm-hmm. Again, another NFC East team that's like, well.
Yeah.
What do you think of Jalen Hurts, and what do you think of the Niners' chances against them?
Yeah, man, I think Jalen looked good, to be honest with you. I mean, it's week 1, so I mean, as we talk about these games, you got to keep in mind, shorter preseason. Week 1, week 2 is always an issue. I don't care if you have a 4-game preseason, right? So does week 1 really, does it really factor into things? We really don't know. But I like Philadelphia's offense. I like the rookie Smith. He had a great game. Him and Jalen connected. Everybody knows how I feel about the Niners. I'm not a big fan. Never have been. It's not my team. They lose their running back, but they have 9 more to fill in.
Right.
So it's a home game again. I know it doesn't mean a ton. The Niners are good. I don't want to say it. I'm a Cardinal fan. I hate admitting it. That last
That's
2 minute,
how I feel about the Vikings.
that last 2 minute thing was ridiculous last week, where they gave up all the points to Detroit. Niners are a good team, and I think people are picking them to win a bunch of games.
Yeah, I agree, and we have to go back and take a look. The Eagles beat up on Atlanta,
Right.
so take that for what it's worth.
100%.
You're certainly the Eagles rushed for 173 yards last week. That is not going to happen against the Niners.
No, will not.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would say probably the Niners.
Yeah, and I do not like saying that, but I feel.
That's how I feel about the Vikings and the Bears. Luckily, I never have to. Well, the Lions. We'll talk about them.
Yeah, well, this
All
week
right.
we have to. So.
To me, it was a surprise performance of the week for me was the Rams. So the Rams are going up against the Colts this week. They certainly looked, with the addition of Matt Stafford,
Yeah.
they certainly look like a different team.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think they're legit? We all know that their defense with those two beasts with Aaron Donald, who could be two beasts on the
plays like
defensive side. Yeah. So what do you think? Rams at Colts.
Yeah, Colts is kind of that team, right? Even last year, it's like, what are you going to get out of the Colts? And we didn't see a ton week 1. I don't think the Rams shocked me at all last week. I think
That's what you expected?
Yeah. I think the Rams played the way I think teams expect them to play. I think Stafford was a little out of his mind. I think he was 20 for 26, and but on that offense and the way that he plans that, it's just. It's easy. It should be easy for a guy like Matt Stafford, right, to put up decent numbers. The defense is solid, but the Colts, they surprise you. You just don't know. I mean, I like the Rams in this game for sure.
Yeah, I do too, and I know that there's some experts out there that are saying that it's going to be a close game. I don't see it. I watched Matthew Stafford in our division for years, and he always was 300 yards, 400 yards, a few touchdowns, a pick here and there, but their defense always let them down. You're not going to get that with the Rams, and I just think as much as it pains me, I think the Rams could be legit.
If they're not, then they're doing something wrong. Injuries hit them, something. They're just stacked.
Yeah.
Offense and defense.
Yeah, and they're another one that lost a running back in the preseason, and just all right, next guy.
Next up.
Go do your thing.
Next up.
All right. This one, I don't know why I left it on here. Bengals at Bears. I mean, the Bengals, I thought I saw some of that game. I thought they looked pretty well against the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that says more about the Vikings than the Bengals.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to think about Joe Burrow. I mean, he's still young, and maybe he just had a few good games. I'm not really sure. And then the Bears. I mean,
It's the Bears.
they are the Bears.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Bengals are 1-0. Bears are 0-1.
Yeah.
Still early. Doesn't really mean anything.
I don't buy much into the Bengals yet. I don't think you can. Like you say, Burrow, started off great last year, had the injury. Does the same thing happen this year? Does he start off great and kind of come back down to reality? I tell you what, I don't like Andy Dalton. I think that's going to be changed sooner than people think. And I think it might even be changed this game, because you don't move up and pick a guy like that and then come to your first home game, decide to sit him the entire time, right? So,
Yeah.
I think Chicago has this one. I think the defense is solid. I think the Bengals get back to being the Bungles, right? Like we used to call them.
The Bungles, yeah.
And so I do. I like the Bears in this, and I think we see a lot more of Justin Fields.
I think that you're wrong.
I like that. I like that you think that.
Here's what I think. Yeah, because every time that I've been wrong before, every time I disagreed with you before,
Makes me look
turns
good.
out you're right.
You're the pro here. I'm just the guy that steps in.
Yeah,
right?
no,
so
no,
if
no.
I'm right and you're wrong, I look good.
No, I am the guy sitting on the other side of the table. Here's what I think. I think that after this game, Justin Fields will take over, and they'll have a great year. I think that they push one more. Look how stubborn they were with Trubisky. They jumped up to get Trubisky,
Yeah.
and then he just they were stubborn. He's going to be our guy. I'm thinking that they learned from that and they said, all right, let's just take it easy. He came in a few times last week, and I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
And I think that they let him go through this game, hoping that Dalton does well against him, and everything looks good, and we're fine. And if it doesn't, which I think is what's going to happen,
right,
then they're going to be back to who they were.
And that's how it probably will play out. I think the thought is if it's 14-0 at half, and you're at home,
it's time.
It's time, right? And so we'll see what happens, but it's got to happen sooner than later.
That's it, and that's a valid point. He may come in at halftime, and if he leaves them on a touchdown drive, you'll never be able to put anybody else
yes,
in again.
It'll be the Brady world all over again.
Yes.
Not that it'll be Brady, but it'll be you give him the ball once, he's never giving it back.
Yep, that's right. All right, so we disagree on that one.
Yes, we do.
Circle that
1 point for Matt.
And Matt takes the lead. Dang it. All right, Saints at Panthers. I keep hearing how Jameis Winston was impressive. I don't know that that's true. I mean, he went for 160 and 5 touchdowns, which 5 touchdowns is great, but 160, I think he was kind of more of a product of what the Packers defense was doing. But results are results. He only threw for 160 because he only had to.
It's true.
He did a lot of running as well. He's still quite the mobile quarterback. But now they're heading in to see the Carolina Panthers and the great Sam Darnold.
The great Sam Darnold. I like how you put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But fumble Darnold.
That's right.
So, what are your thoughts? Do you think that, are the Saints legit?
Yeah. So, first of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to obviously talk about the poor
Can we cut the video
that the Packers put out, this last week. So I think they make a quarterback change too. I think Jordan Love. No, I don't.
They played the Packers?
I don't think that. Jameis Winston, right? 150, 160 yards. I think 4 of his touchdowns were 5 yards or less, right? So I'm not a believer in Jameis Winston, but I am a believer in that defense. Whatever you can say about Packers or Rodgers, or they weren't prepared, whatever. They shut the Packers down.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what they do in this game. I don't think it's a game that Jameis Winston wins for them. I think their defense wins the game for them. But I think the Panthers are an improved team. I really do. But if I had to pick, I'm even though I love that defense, I'm going Carolina. I like McCaffrey. I don't like Darnold, but I like McCaffrey. I like their receiving core. I think I would lean that way this week.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about Christian McCaffrey because we missed him all of last year.
That's right.
And he came out and had a Christian McCaffrey game last week.
Yes, he did.
And he's not even all the way in the swing of things again. So, yeah,
right.
I could see that getting out of control quick. They got into this. They did ball control against the Packers, and they chewed up a lot of time and kept him out of his hands. If they do the same thing here, I think it's going to be a lot closer. But if Carolina is able to stop them early and start getting a run game going, I think that Carolina could win that game.
So you got Carolina then?
No.
You do not?
I have the Saints. I think like the same thing happens. I think they jump out and they start doing that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm at 2 for Matt, so we're doing well. I like
falling so far behind.
You are. That's terrible.
All right. Sunday late games. Titans at Seattle. I love this game. I think this is going to be good. I know the Titans didn't look great last week. But you're not going to keep Derrick Henry down for long.
No, and you're not playing the Cardinals, which are clearly the best team in the NFL, right? So, I like the game too. I had to take another opportunity there, John. I had just,
That's right.
a little dig for you, a little support for my team. So.
You know what?
Yeah.
We need to better
vet.
Yeah, vet who's coming in here. Every team isn't going to. Seattle has been known for their defense over the years, but looking at last week's game, it clearly was Russell Wilson and the receiver that I can't think of his name.
Metcalf, and they also had Lockett as well.
Lockett,
did really well.
He had the 2 long touchdowns.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to to me, they're more of an offensive team. I think Derrick Henry gets it going, but I don't think that they have the defense. If they couldn't stop Kyler Murray,
right,
they are certainly not going to stop Russell Wilson.
Interesting.
That was a shot.
Totally agree with that.
Shot at Arizona.
It's okay. You're allowed to take one every now and then, even though you did lose last week and we didn't. So my take on it is I think Tennessee comes into Seattle and handles business. I think that they learn from whatever they might learn from last week. I don't think Seattle's that good. I think they're the worst team in the division. That's truly my opinion. And not just saying as a Cardinal fan. I just think in the West they are when push comes to shove, they'll be the worst team in the division. They are a high-power offense, and I get that. And they are at home, and I understand that as well. But, I like what Vrabel called his own players out last week, right? And I like that. And that means to me that he has their respect, right? So I think they step up, and I think they make some adjustments and some changes. They find a way to get Henry back on track. And I think I don't know what the spread is, and I know we don't talk spreads, but I think Tennessee wins regardless.
You know what? I think I'm with you on that.
Okay, I like that.
I'm learning, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. We'll get there. We'll see how that goes. That'll probably be the one we're wrong on, but that's okay.
Yeah, we both got
that's
it wrong.
That's okay, because you do want to go Seattle. I can see it. It's in there.
It just feels like, but a lot of times we pick these games based on recent emotion, and we go, well, Seattle looked good. Well, they played the Colts.
Right.
I know that you are a little bit higher on the Colts than I am, and the Titans lost to Arizona. Bad. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're not as good as we think, but when you sit down and you look at it, I think that's the right call, in my opinion. All right, Cowboys at Chargers. This is Jeff's team, the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Yeah, so be nice.
Okay,
yeah.
I will do my best to be nice. Probably not.
Right. I was surprised. I don't know that I would say pleasantly surprised at Dak's performance last week.
Yeah.
I think that the team all around looked good. I didn't get a chance to see the Chargers, but I am a Justin Herbert fan, and the way I understood is that he played pretty well on the road. I did have some questions watching the Cowboys game about some of the calls or some of the decisions that were made, not the calls, the play calling
Coaching.
that was made. And there were a lot of times where, and maybe it's just rust, where I thought that this guy was open and this guy was open, and Zach was trying to throw the home run, or Dak was trying to throw the home run instead of just getting what you can get. So maybe that's just some rust going on there. But a lot of people are saying that these are two of the better teams in the NFL.
I would agree.
Really?
Yeah, I would. I totally would agree. Surprising, maybe, but
Yeah, it's been a while since we thought of that for the Chargers.
You know what? They're a great offensive team. They truly are. They're getting better. I think they are. They're getting better on the defensive side. Herbert's a stud. I mean, a lot of Pac-12 guy, and he didn't get a lot of. He got the publicity, but he didn't get really the attention some of the Justin Fields and those kind of guys did the year after. I think he's dominant as a quarterback. I think both teams will throw the ball all over the place. I think the difference is I don't think the Chargers have figured out their run game. I just don't think they have. They don't know who's getting the ball. They got 3, 4, 5 backs. I think Dallas focuses back on Elliott a little bit, which they knew they couldn't do against Tampa. I think it's a super entertaining game, but I like Dallas in this one. I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row.
You think it'll be a close game, but it'll be Dallas?
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's. I think that with Dak knocking a little bit more of the rust off, that I think that they continue to improve. And I mean, I like the Chargers, and I like Justin Herbert, and I like running back
Eckler.
Yeah, I keep going to say Ezekiel.
Right.
Yeah, Austin Eckler, but he's certainly not that breakaway guy or truck you guy.
And I don't think they figured out a way to use him yet. The new offensive coordinator, they were excited about that. They were excited about the whole New Orleans Saints kind of scat back, the Kamara kind of feel from Eckler.
Yeah.
I didn't see it at all last week, so
he's not that guy.
I don't think he is either.
All right, Sunday Night Football. This, I think, is going to be the most entertaining game. This is one of our picks this week, is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Ravens. Chiefs certainly looked vulnerable last week. Let me give you some information on this.
Okay.
Chiefs have won the last 2 meetings at Baltimore by double digits. Lamar Jackson is 0-3 in 3 career starts against Mahomes. And the Chiefs have led by an average of 14 points at halftime in those games. So the Chiefs are in the habit of, against Baltimore, stepping up and jumping out to a big lead, and then rolling to a win. Once Patrick Mahomes gets a lead, it's impossible because he's going to beat you with his legs or dump off passes or whatever. He still has those burners there that he likes to throw it deep to. They did look a little iffy last week.
Cleveland's a tough team. They didn't play a slouch.
Cleveland is a tough team talent-wise. We've been waiting for a couple of years for them to put it all together, and they certainly looked a lot better than they have in the past.
A couple decades.
Yeah. By a couple, yeah. Did I say years? Yeah,
you did, but I know what you meant. Yeah.
Ever since Jim Brown retired, it just hasn't been the same.
And all the watchers are going, Jim who?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I don't know who that guy is. Is he the guy that owns the Browns?
That's right.
So, I mean, what do you think? Is it just an anomaly that they were? Was it who they're going up against in the Browns? Was it just they weren't clicking quite yet because it was game one?
Yeah.
Are they better than that? Are they? I mean, the Ravens played well as well. This could be a great game. I think the odds makers have it as a 1-point game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so again, I go back to week one, being a preseason almost game, especially with the shortened season. And even though the Chiefs played a lot of their guys in the preseason more than most teams did, believe it or not, I think they're the dominant team here. I think that the Ravens are reeling from losing their starting cornerback, losing 2 running backs, trying to figure out who the go-to guy is going to be. You saw Lamar put a lot of pressure on himself Monday night and 2 fumbles, and I think they need a few more weeks to figure out how they're going to adapt that offense. They have a tight end who barely touched the ball this week, and you'd think that would have been an automatic losing running backs.
Right.
And so, I like Kansas City here. Interesting fact with the Baltimore game, I guess, 14-point lead. They were 81-0 in their last 81 times. They were up by 14, and they lost to Vegas, in Vegas. I think they have pressure on them to win. I think Kansas City comes in, and I like the stats that you shared. I think we continue to see that. Yeah, I like Kansas City by, maybe not a ton, maybe, 10, 14, something in that range, but...
An NFL game, that's
a lot. Yeah, well, for the Chiefs, not so much, right?
Yeah,
but in general,
that's like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
for the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs are legit. I think they're the best team in football. Nothing's gonna change that unless they lose Mahomes or something else happens. So
yeah, and I agree. They have just too much speed and too much. And I think that the Ravens, a lot of times, we look just like Seattle. We look at their defense and go, yeah, their defense is good. No, their defense was great under, with Ray Lewis, and their defense was good when it was the Legion of Boom.
Right.
I think that they kind of have that. We have that impression about them because of what's happened in the past. Things have completely changed over there for that.
And when you lose your number one cornerback, that puts more pressure on everybody else, right? So they can't just go out and blitz, and they can't have to drop linebackers and things like that. So, I like Kansas City here.
All right. We can zip through this one real quick. Monday Night Football, it's Lions and Packers. Your responses here will be determine whether or not Matt Hanrahan will ever be back.
I will probably not be back then.
Darn it. All right, so Packers looked terrible. Before when we previewed it last week, we said, look, they don't. Most of their starters on offense and defense, none of them played during the preseason.
Yep.
So there could be some rust, but I think they're still going to win. And I'm hoping that was just rust, and now it's knocked off and ready to go. The Lions. That Jared Goff from Matthew Stafford exchange. That's Jared Goff is still Jared Goff.
It's a downgrade.
Turns out,
right?
Yeah.
It's a downgrade. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching Green Bay for a long time. I've never seen them play like that. I mean, I'm talking my whole life. I mean, even when they were terrible, that was one of the worst displays of football we've seen in a long time.
Made me want to throw up.
It was bad, and it wasn't because of just the Saints, obviously. That's not going to happen again. Green Bay is going to put stuff together. I don't like the fact that they're having a hard time passing the ball, which is strange. Adams is the only guy they have that can really beat someone one-on-one, and I think that that's going to continue to be an issue. But there's no way that they play on Monday night in Green Bay against Detroit and struggle. I think that it was a fluke last 2 minutes for Detroit. They got whooped, and I think they get whooped again.
All right, so Matt Hanrahan will be back in 2 weeks. You know what? I agree, and one of the things that really bothered me about it is they lost their left tackle to injury in last year, and he's got a few more. He's on the PUP list right now. They lost 2 guys to free agency, so they have 2 guys on the line that played last year, but they're not playing in their positions that they played.
Right.
So that leaves 3 other guys up there. So these 5 have never played together, and the Packers don't believe that they needed to be together at all during the preseason and play some stuff.
Yeah, which is obviously a mistake.
We're just going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the offensive line caused them some problems. I agree with you. There were some passes that he threw that were just not crisp and not where he normally would put them. I don't know if that's because of all the off-season drama or if his zen or I don't know what's going on over there.
You sound like a true Packer fan. I like that.
I certainly hope that is gone. And the Lions looked like the Lions.
Right.
Different guy, different jersey, same Lions.
Except for 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
The fourth quarter, they look like the Super Bowl contenders, right?
Right.
But I don't see that happening.
We're going to close the gap because I got money on it, and 10 isn't. We got to get it under 10. All right. So like I said, every week we save the two big games for the end. The Raiders this week are going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They had a nice game last week. It was great. A lot of motion, overtime, all that stuff. That was all great. And the Steelers, with Roethlisberger seeming to have a rejuvenation, seem like a lot better team. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, so I'm not a believer in the Raiders. I don't believe in what happened Monday night. I'm not a believer in Derek Carr by any means. I'd love for them to be better, being that they're somewhat of a local team. Pittsburgh surprised everybody. I think Ben started slow. He started like he was 50, which is close, and then second half turned it on. Tomlin is, to my opinion, the best coach in the NFL.
I think he's awesome.
If it's
Mike
not
Tomlin.
him, it's Reed. It's close, right? But I like Pittsburgh. I think Raiders. They're up and down. They remind me of my Cardinal team. You just don't know what you're going to get, and Pittsburgh's the opposite. Pittsburgh, you know what you're getting. I like how they beat Buffalo last week. I like that they did it on the road. I think the confidence carries over, and I think that defense is legit, like it always has been. They just keep rotating pieces in and out, right? So I like Pittsburgh. I think that it's not a close game. I think that Vegas goes on the road, and after this exciting Monday night short week, I think they get beat up pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I think that unless you're a Buffalo, or unless you're a real Steelers fan, that I don't think too many people last week thought that the Steelers were going to be able to beat Buffalo. I think they're a lot better team than we thought.
Yep.
I think Najee Harris is the real deal, even though he didn't have a huge game. And for them to go into Buffalo and do that, I think was pretty awesome. I think that there's a certain high associated with this nice big win in our new stadium, and the fans are all there, and everything's great. And it's a short week, kind of let down. So I agree. I think the Steelers go down there. I know that a lot of you are Raiders fans, and we're only an hour and a half away from there, but I agree with Matt. Matt started it.
That's awesome. Maybe this pick is the one that doesn't let me come back, right? It's not the Packer game. It's this one that gets me in trouble.
That would be violence.
But I think if you asked anybody across the country, it's a pretty clear, I would think, Pittsburgh.
I would think so.
I would think.
But, I think we expected that from Pittsburgh, and even though they did have the slow start, they got into who they were, and they did it against a great team. So I think that's pretty, All right. Vikings at Cardinals.
This will determine if you get to come back next week. Even though you're the host of the show, this will determine if you get to come back.
I could be replaced like that. No, you know what? The general manager is a Rams fan, and we both were on the Rams.
Oh,
so
perfect.
I think
we're good.
safe.
We're golden.
Yeah. Vikings at Cardinals. I was surprised by both of these. I expected the Vikings to be a lot better team last week than they were, and I didn't expect the Cardinals to be as good as they were. Have not been a Kyler Murray fan. Part of it is that I'm not a Cardinals fan, so maybe I'm not as emotionally involved with him as my worry always with those guys, as it is with any quarterback like that, is small in stature, likes to run. I'm afraid he's going to get hit, and at any point it could be done.
Right.
But I was really impressed with him last week. I thought, wow, that he's a lot better than I thought. And then you put Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt on the same line. I mean, I don't know if this is a contract thing for Chandler Jones, or if it's people are focusing on J.J., so it opens it up. But 5 sacks to open the season.
Unreal, right?
And now what do? You put in 7 offensive linemen?
Right. Yeah. So. I can talk about the Cardinals all day long, obviously, even though that.
All right, then I'm going to go.
You're out of here. All right, let me scoot over. But It's the Cardinals. Let's just get that out. They look great, right? They look like a phenomenal football team. Kingsbury made some changes. That air raid offense seemed to adjust a little bit. I agree with you on Kyler Murray. Every time he drops back, you get scared. He does like to run. However, he's really more of a pocket quarterback than most of our running quarterbacks. He gets out there, but, I like the Cardinals. I'm a Cardinal fan. I like them at home. I think Minnesota is going to struggle. I think Patrick Peterson comes home, and he struggles. And I don't think Arizona's a fluke this year. I think they win this one. I don't know where they go. I don't know what the end of the year looks like, but I like them at home. I like them against Minnesota.
Yeah, and watching Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, serviceable, certainly not that guy.
Right.
Doesn't measure up to Kyler Murray for sure. Which I never thought I'd be saying.
But it's still the Cardinals, right? So you don't know.
It is.
1 week beat up Tennessee, the next week lose to Minnesota, and that's us as a Cardinal fan. That's what we have to deal with. So
that is my lock of the week.
Just take it out right now. Take it out of my back.
Arizona will dominate the Vikings.
Oh, okay. Then don't take it out of my back. I thought you were going to swing the other way.
No,
all right.
Arizona is going to dominate the Vikings.
I like that. Is that a Packer fan comment or just a true?
It's an intellectual thing.
Okay, well, that's something I've never heard out of your mouth before. I'm not going to lie.
Nobody has. All right, so we're up against time, so I'm going to run through a few. I'm going to rapid fire a few at you.
Yep.
Broncos at Jaguars.
Yeah, Jacksonville's the worst team in the league, so that's Denver.
Boom. Wow.
Yeah. You said quick, rapid fire. That's all.
Take it easy on him. He's a young guy. Trevor Lawrence is just a kid, all right?
And he'll probably play great, but they do not win.
Houston Texans at the Browns.
Houston is the second worst team in the league, maybe the first. So Browns it is.
And Browns really looked good last week.
Yes, they did.
Falcons at the Buccaneers.
Again, Falcons, Buccaneers. I see why you put them at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm going Buccaneers.
Yeah. Patriots at Jets.
Yeah, I like the Jets.
Really?
There's a little pause there. I saw that. Yeah, I think the Jets can beat the Patriots. I think that we see the rookie go on the road, and I think he struggles. And I like the Jets. I think it's close, and I think it's a little bit of a surprise, but I like the Jets.
If the Jets beat the Patriots, all of New England will explode because that's like their mortal enemy.
Should I not pick the Jets then?
No,
that would be a horrific thing.
That would be a horrific
New
thing.
England area exploded.
Maybe just Boston.
Okay. Well, it still can't. I'm still going the Jets.
Okay. All right. And finally, Bills at Dolphins.
Yeah, I love this game. I'm surprised this one didn't get more conversation today.
I just didn't know that. I just didn't know that this area was really.
I would have taken the Packers probably Lions game off the table, but that's okay.
It's Monday night. It's Monday night. Yeah. We cover Monday night games.
I think
I would have too.
Yeah,
I'd like to right now if I could just take the Packers off the schedule for the season.
Right.
I would do that. But
yeah, I like Buffalo here. I think Miami's tough. I think they're very close. These are very very close teams. Buffalo's not going to lose again. Josh Allen's not going to lose again. I like Josh Allen a ton.
Are you a Tua guy?
No, I do not like Tua, but I like what the coach is doing down there.
Good. All right, so I tried to show you this ad at the beginning, and because of the green, it didn't work out. So Jeff went and pulled it up for you. Can you show it, Jeff? It's on. All right, so this is in Sunday's paper, sponsored by Anderson Ford of Bullhead City. What we need you to do is to get the paper, or you can come down here to the paper and get one, and fill out your picks. This is Saints at Panthers and Chiefs at Ravens. Put your stuff in there. We will have a drawing every week for a $25 card from one of our local small businesses. This week it was for Coview, and that was the one that Gail Stones won. Next week, remember, there's a pool.
$25 pool.
$25
That's what you just said. You said $25. So.
Or minimum of $25. I don't know who it's going to be next week, but we'll have a $25 card from one of our local businesses. You can drop this ballot off at either Anderson Ford, right down the street from us, or you can bring it to the paper, and it compiles throughout the season. At the end of the season, we've got 3 amazing grand prizes that you will have a chance to win one of them. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was fun.
I guess you can come back in
I'm
a
allowed
couple
to come
weeks.
back. I'm allowed to come back in a couple weeks.
If you get here and I'm not here, you know what happened. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please share this, like this, let everybody see what's going on. And we don't have any, if you go with our picks and
we're not liable for any of our choices.
Yeah, it costs you money. We're not. I'll give you Larry Kendrick's phone number. You can call him. All right. So, Jeff, thanks, brother. Good job. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you.